Hello there, and welcome to Memeobi's Galaxy, a Star Wars podcast, the only podcast that loves Jar Jar more than we love Darth Maul. Today's episode, we dive into a galaxy far, far away with a special guest who has become a beloved meme in the Star Wars universe. Join me as we chat with Ross Beadman, who shares his journey from youngling on set of Star Wars to traveling the world of conventions. We'll explore his weird fan interactions and the lucky path that led him to the iconic set as a child. So as Han says, "Punch it, Chewie." Is that what he says? Okay, let's get into it. I am joined today by Ross. How are we doing today, Ross?
Very well, thank you very much.
Very well. Ross, give us your 15-second version for people who don't know. Who are you and how are you connected with Star Wars?
Yeah, so I played the youngling Sors Bandeam in Star Wars Revenge of the Sith, the one who goes up to Anakin, says, "Master Skywalker, there are too many of them. What are we going to do?" before, meeting my fate, whatever that may be. It was off screen, but
younglings have survived in the Kenobi show, so you never know.
True. There's a little avenue somewhere. The door's there.
Dude, that is so epic. So in the spirit of getting to know you outside of the Star Wars universe, let's say you're in a business meeting. They're going around the table asking, what's a fun fact about yourself that's not Star Wars related? What's something about you that we could learn about?
Yeah, so I'm a fan of combat sports. I've boxed for charity. Well, I boxed for charity once a couple of years back, and I went in an MMA fight a little bit after that. I can also flip my eyelids like this.
No. Oh, I hate that so much still. You were that kid.
Yeah. Yeah, it gets painful after a while. It's a very short-term party trick.
Well, that's awesome. I have been following. Obviously, I follow your Instagram, so I keep up on you're doing your big workout challenge for a while, which was actually kind of inspiring to me. I've lost 30 pounds this year, starting in January, after you started posting that. So you are an influencer.
Really, 30 pounds? That's a lot, man.
I did. I'm trying to lose, I think, 6 more, but I digress. So my second and final icebreaker before we get into it is, if there's an alternate reality where you can play any Star Wars character, past, present, or future, what character would you love the opportunity to play in an alternate reality?
I have one main one and one kind of side character.
Yeah.
I'd like to be a bar owner on a planet in the Outer Rim.
Oh, that would be sick.
Yeah.
That's honestly cooler than just doing like a main character, because it's like people can create lore in the background for you. I love that.
Yeah, and give out missions to bounty hunters and things like that.
Sick.
Have the bulletin board in the bar behind me.
Yeah, with all the wanted posters. I love that so much. Okay, so let's get into it. The big question that my followers asked me to ask you is, how in the heck you got on that set of episode 3? What is the story?
Well, it's a mixture of connections, number one, and luck. So I managed to get into it because my mum used to know someone who then started her own casting agency. And at that point, they hadn't really spoken for about 6 months. And then seemingly out of the blue, my mum gets an email asking her if her son would like to be in Star Wars, right? And yeah, what do you expect the response to that was?
It was like, no, I hate that stupid nerd show.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, of course. It wasn't even...
Yeah.
I didn't even really have to think about it, right? I didn't think it was real. In the back of my mind, I was wondering if my parents were playing a very elaborate prank on me, because it just seemed too good to be true, right? Out of nowhere, you've got this role, no act real. I mean, I had some acting experience, but I never really went to acting school. It was a couple things I was in, a National Geographic, like documentary reconstruction and a comedy. Right, but nothing at this magnitude. And so we turn up on set. She's my chaperone, and we've been processed through hair and makeup. And the casting director sits us down on set, right, with the blue screen on one end of the room with all the sofas of the Jedi Council chamber, and then the crew on the other side with their huge cinema cameras, the bright lights and everything. So it's quite overwhelming. And on the day, I wasn't really talking to that many of the people. All the other kids seem to have clicked up and gone into their own groups and were chatting. Maybe I was thinking they went to the same acting school and that's why they were able to make friends so quickly. But I was a bit of an outsider on the day. So prior to the day on set, about a week before, our parents get an email with the line from the film, Master Skywalker, there are too many of them. What are we going to do? And my parents drilled that into my head. They'd ask me every day, around 5 times a day, at random intervals, Ross, say the line. Yep. Then I'd rattle it off, and it became very conditioned in my mind. And so when it actually came to filming, when the casting director asks all of us kids, okay, guys, who knows the line? I was the first person to put my hand up and say, yes, I do. I repeated the line, and that's how I was chosen. When I stood up and he took me to a separate part of the room, I looked back, and all the other kids they kept on talking to each other. It's like they hadn't stopped, right? So I'm assuming I was listening and not engaged in conversation, and that helped.
Yeah, nice. That's wow. That is. I mean, yeah, it's luck, but it's also. I mean, like with your mother and everything. That's pretty sweet. So was it pretty? Did they do anything to try to help you stay calm? I know it's pretty intense, right, with those cinema cameras. Like, was it a really intense environment? Was it like real chill?
It was intense. It was a lot, right? I'm seeing George Lucas on one side. I knew previously he was the director, right? And prior to filming, me and my mum, we ran across Ewan McGregor on the way to the costume room, right? The dressing room. And so he has a conversation with us for about a good 5-10 minutes. He gave us a lot of his time. And so, yeah, it's like fantasy and reality clashing together on one day. I'm seeing all these people that I recognize from films. It was really intense. I was nervous being in this room full of all these people, and also knowing that I'm up and saying this line. That was some added pressure to that situation. Hayden came over to me. He talked to me for a good 5 minutes. He asked me if I had any questions for him. And I asked, what's more dangerous, an adult's lightsaber or a kid's lightsaber? And he said an adult's lightsaber is more dangerous.
Nice.
And yeah, I mean, it was pretty definitive after that, right?
Yeah.
But no, I'm glad he talked to me to try and settle my nerves a bit. I think that's why they got him to talk to me, was to bring the intensity down.
Yeah. So I know you've been on record and you said that Hayden, when he did a couple takes and then the final take was like he said boo, or did he just yell? Like talk us through like that, like the actual filming.
So he definitely did something, whether he shouted boo or just screamed at me on the fourth and final take. I don't have a strong memory of. He did something to make me shuffle back. I remember being shocked and having to take a step back. But it was confirmed in a recent interview Hayden did with a magazine, I forget which one, but he talks about that very moment, and he said that he screams at me, that he shouts at me to get that reaction. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to trust what he remembers
as an adult,
conjunction of what my memory was, and it kind of paints the most accurate picture, right? Because it was a long time ago, and memories can be pretty accurate, but they're not foolproof, right? They can change and be distorted somewhat. Yeah,
for sure. So, just moving on through it, how was it? Did anything change after the fact, right? Like, were you just like, going to see the movies, like reactions of friends, that kind of deal? Like how was that as like a child?
Yeah, was there anything? When I told people that I went to the premiere screening of Revenge of the Sith, it was a few months after filming, right after it had all been completed, and that I was going to be likely in the film. 90% of people, aside from maybe one or two very close friends in my school, didn't believe me.
Nice.
They said you are lying through your teeth. We don't believe you. All this stuff, and then when it actually started being screened publicly in theaters, that's when they started like saying, "Oh no, you weren't kidding. We see you here, but you died." I'm like, Fair
enough.
Fair enough. I mean, my parents told me that I didn't die, maybe to save my feelings at the time. But no, in the premiere screening, my parents like gave me the expectation that there's every possibility that you won't be in the film. Just because you had you're filmed in this scene doesn't mean it's going to be in there. It might be cut. So yeah, it was insane seeing myself on the big screen.
That would be, especially at that age, is like it would be just insane. Yeah. So after that, I know you do conventions now. When did you start? When did you get into going to conventions? Like, how young were you? That kind of deal. Like, how'd that happen? How's it work?
Yeah. So that would have been my first convention was in 2019, so a good 6 years ago now. I would have been 21. I got into it. It was actually held at it would have been at my high school I went to, the later years at high school. And that was organized because I helped out with a fellow student's university project in their final year to come and give a talk about my experience in Star Wars, right? At that college. And she said, I actually know a guy who runs a comic book shop. He's running an event. I think it was called News Forest Film and Collector Convention, something like that. And she said, he would love to have you as a guest in the next few months. And so that was the first, tipping of the domino when it comes to going to all these conventions as a guest.
Yeah.
And they're great, I get to meet cool people, make a bit of money on the side, and now I get to travel the world pretty much. It's a dream.
How does that actually? So how? I'm actually. This is just me curious. Like, do you seek out conventions? Do they seek out to you? How does that process work? Like, especially when you're starting off.
So in the beginning, I had an agent who would try and source me for a few conventions, and for the first year, she managed to get me a good 3 events, which was good. And then it started to trail off after that, my amount of appearances. So then I would be a bit more proactive when it comes to posting about my autographs in Facebook collectors groups, right?
Yeah.
And also, link to my autograph website, which I sell my autographs from, and asking them, hey, if there's any convention you'd like me to go to, which one would it be, right? And they'll give their suggestions, and I'd reach out to a few organizers, and then whichever organizer will come back to me, we'd figure out how we'd, do a deal and, figure out maybe a fee for the day, all the other details, right?
Yeah.
But now most of them, it's just organizers coming to me.
Interesting. Okay, cool.
Requesting me to attend their convention.
So how many are you doing now, in a year? Are you doing how many?
So on average, I'd say I do 2 conventions abroad. Over the last 2 years, they've mainly been in the US, and I do about 1 in the UK a year. So three every year.
Nice. This is completely not quite on topic. Do you have a day job?
Yeah, I do. It's my day job is content creator.
Content creator.
Yeah, so I work for a private tuition company. I create all their YouTube videos, TikToks, Instagram Reels, as part of their overall strategy to, get leads and customers and make sure the business is profitable. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that was just it just came up because you're talking about doing this 3 times a year. I'm like, well, you can't support yourself over 3 conventions probably.
Yeah.
That's not making that kind of dough.
Yeah, pickings would be, if I was supporting myself on that, I'd be eating just pure cans of beans all day, all day, every day.
That's so funny. So you've been to quite a few conventions and you get to see a lot of nerds. Do you have any weird interactions, not wild stories, but interesting interactions with some weirdos, if that makes sense?
Yeah, I have one very memorable one, and I've got one which happens most commonly. The most common one, I'll start with that, is where someone will have a conversation with you, and it'll be fine at first, and then they'll linger there for maybe on max an hour and a half, and when people come and buy your autographs, you sign it and you talk with them, and then they come in straight away after those people have gone, right? Which is not too bad, but I guess it can be somewhat annoying.
I need to ask now, because when we met, I did end up lingering around your table for a while and sitting there with you. Was I one of those people that lingers too long?
No, that's different. That's different.
Okay, fair enough. And then what was your other story?
It'd be less of a conversation and more of them talking at you, and just telling you about their lives and just not being non-stop with that. But my most memorable one was at where we met at Alcon in Texas.
Okay.
There was this one guy who approached my table, and he was carrying a doll in his right hand. And he said, "Hey, Ross, I want you to meet Charisse." And he says, I'm like, "Hi, Charisse, how you doing?" And he's like, "Charisse, say hi to Ross." She goes, "Hi, Ross. Hi, Ross." And he looks to me and he goes, "I take her everywhere with me. I don't know what I'd do without her. And I'm thinking, okay, this is different. My mind's racing. I'm
Whoa.
thinking, is does he think that like some kind of
Mm-hmm.
spirit has inhabited this doll and it's now a sentient
Man.
object, like in Annabelle, the
Mm-hmm.
horror film, something like
Yeah.
that? Or is it a mental health thing? And if it is, then I feel bad about bringing
Yeah.
this up. A bit like a Castaway situation with the Ball Wilson. Maybe it's something like that coming out of someone being
Mm-hmm.
isolated and then attributing
Interesting.
characteristics to an inanimate object.
Yeah.
But no, that was definitely the
That's
weirdest
strange.
experience I ever had. The conversation was about 5 minutes between me talking to him and the doll and everything.
Yep.
And I mentioned it to someone else, and they said apparently it was quite a common thing within that area, mainly in the south of the states, where people would have these
Interesting.
dolls and they talk to them, right? Like they were real people or they were inhabited by something.
Wild. I have never.
Yeah,
I'm literally going to go look this up because I'm really curious because I've never heard of such a thing. Well, that is quite.
yeah.
That is quite
I mean,
wild.
I guess it's a common thing all across the world. I think that the term
Sure.
of it is like object fetishism. When
Mm-hmm.
someone puts human characteristics within an inanimate object. I know it's used in like voodoo and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So maybe there's a bit of occultism going into it, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't stick
Still
around and
weird. Or he was
ask more
just.
questions.
Or he was just doing a real weird bit for his for his for
Yeah. Yeah, all the
maybe.
videos going to be coming out soon.
Yeah,
Like he's
yeah,
a
yeah.
Sacha Baron Cohen kind of guy.
Yeah, messing with people
Yeah.
this whole time. So that's interesting that it was at the place we met. So I kind of want to tell you my side of kind of what happened when we met because it's kind of a funny story of what happened. So I approached you. I've never been to a convention in my life.
No way.
I literally brought a picture of you to sign because I didn't even think. I don't know why. I didn't put two and two together. I'm like, duh, they're going to be selling autographs. And I brought one for you to sign because I'm like, well, I have to have it so you can sign it. We started talking, right? And then you had mentioned, so I was telling people I was going to have people roll a dice to win a lightsaber, basically. I had two lightsabers I was going to give away. And you gave the great suggestion of, or I could, actually, at first you said I could host a duel between two people. I'm like, well, if you're offering, dude, like, for sure. I then like scuttle off and like freak out for a little bit. And then you come back and you find me and you're like, hey, I should fight him and I should wear my GoPro. So now I'm going around, I'm asking people to join, right? Then you drop the devastating news to me. You say, I think we should wait till tomorrow because I don't have a memory card. And I'm like, I'm not here tomorrow.
Oh,
So what I say, I lie to your face. I lie straight to your face. I say,
you did?
I say I have a spare memory card and memory card reader in my car. I run out to my car. I drive to Best Buy as fast as I can. I buy a memory card and a memory card reader, and I drive back as fast as I can. I'm like, I am not missing this opportunity. This
Yeah.
will happen.
This is mission critical, right?
I
And I
drove,
remember having
yeah.
that brainwave of thinking about the idea. I thought, okay, I've got my GoPro with me.
Mm-hmm.
This guy Kent, right? He runs this like everyone Memeobi like Instagram account. He's doing a lightsaber giveaway,
Mm-hmm.
right? Combine the two together, right? We
Mm-hmm.
can get a first person duel on our hands, right?
Yeah.
With the rules, if you land a clean hit on someone,
Yeah.
you stay in, they get knocked out. Whoever's
Yeah.
last man standing wins the lightsaber. And it came to me, and I was like, I looked at you, and I was like, I like gave like a come hither gesture
Yeah.
to my table, and it was just we hashed it out on the spot, right? All the logistics for filming, aside from the SD card, which I don't remember. Oh, by the way, we can't do this without this.
Yep. And
Yeah.
I happen to have a GoPro mount, I think, for the chest as well.
Yes.
Like it was a whole. I don't know how I had it in my bag at the convention. I don't know
I
what
mean,
I
what
was
are the
doing.
chances of that, right?
It was kind
Yeah.
of wild. It was so much fun, and I mean, very appreciative of it, and it was like awesome experience to get to do and hang out with you.
Likewise.
And
No, I mean,
yeah,
no, it was great. It was great meeting you and everything, and that's why we're speaking today, right?
yeah.
That one meeting at
I
the
know.
convention.
Like there was, I forget her name. She was one of the actors that I think she was like. I don't think she was R2D2. She was an Ewok. She played Ewok. She was down the way. I forget her name. She was like, oh wait, this is your first convention? You act like you've been to tons of conventions. And my only thing is only just because like I was very nervous coming in, right? Like it was just a lot going on, and cons in general, right, are kind of overwhelming. But after like seeing like, oh, these are just regular people, and like they are down to talk, especially like that day was so slow for you guys. Like I don't know if you, I hope I never asked you how was I don't know if you remember. It's been a while, but I remember you guys were talking like today's been real slow. I hope tomorrow picks up because we're not making anything at this point. Do you remember if like the next day picked up at all? I know it's been forever, but
Yeah, so I think if my memory serves me correctly, that it was a 4-day event.
yes.
The first day was busy, the second day busy but slightly less, and then the third day was dead.
Yeah.
The fourth day was dead but less dead than the third day. Yeah. So overall, I'm happy with how I did personally. But yeah, no, it was the right day to do it.
Yeah, and I think that was such a small convention, but it's a cool one, right? Because like it was neat to meet you guys. So it was you, it was the I forget, David, I think he plays Wedge Antilles' voice, and then there was the two ladies.
I think Susanna, is it
Yes,
Susanna plays
yes.
Jawa, and then Christine, I think.
Yes,
she
Christine
might be the R2D2.
Yes. Because do you guys end up going? Because I know they were talking; those three were talking about how they've been to tons of conventions together, and like they've been in sketchy like hotels and stuff. Do you see very similar people at these conventions?
No. So aside from David, is that David Ankrum?
Yes.
The voice of Wedge. I saw him at Rebel ScumCon in Texas 2 weeks ago. He's the only person I've seen twice.
Okay.
At a convention. So for me, everyone's different every single time. I think the way Susanna and Christine do it is that they kind of operate as a package deal. They're good friends, and so they kind of package each other. Yeah.
I mean, that would be nice to get to go with a friend every time, not just be alone.
For sure. I mean, I've had my fair share of hotel situations. I remember one having bed bugs.
Oh, yikes!
But aside from that,
that's terrible.
Yeah.
So after we started hanging out, and I got the opportunity. One of the other people had canceled for your reservation, and you guys invited me to come along to Benihana's, the place where they flip eggs and stuff.
Yeah.
It was I the first one you ever took out to dinner from a con, like a fan?
Yes. No, I never extended that invitation to anyone before. So man,
nice.
Hey man, first time. But hey, I like. It was great because like we met on that day, we filmed this awesome bit of content, and we get to do a bit of a debrief after that, right?
Yeah. No, I will say, dude. I mean, I did regret I didn't take really any pictures. Like I was like, I should have took a picture with him or anything. I didn't take anything. I realized afterwards, but I was in my mind. I'm like, I want to be cool. I'm gonna be chill. Yeah. I'm not like a weirdo. But like I'm not. But like I didn't want to cross that line and make you feel like uncomfortable or anything. But yeah, no. Oh, I drove you guys in my rental Tesla. That's what it was.
That was awesome. Yeah.
I got randomly upgraded to a Tesla. Oh, that was so. Oh wait, in the end, Suzanne, she got us a discount on our meal. That was the guy at the Benihana's, right? So people, if they're listening, the Benihana's, they like flip eggs and stuff. And the guy did it all, but he wasn't like engaged. And Susanna, she came. She's like, hey, I need to talk to your manager. And they're like, okay. And it was like super nonchalant. Like I'm like. Honestly, it was cool to see someone ask for a manager in not an upset way, right? Like the internet always shows. But she's like, manager. They're like, yep, talk to him, done. I was like, so you can not be a jerk. And yeah, I get it. I thought it was cool. I mean, it was.
You can still be assertive. I think from what she said, she was used to like a different level of Benihana's being from
yes.
I think California.
Yep.
So maybe they just are at a completely different level of performance art and cuisine where they're doing backflips across the table, flicking it into people's eyelids, the food. And I don't see how the guy personally could have like topped his own performance, but I'm sure that there's levels to this Benihana game, right?
Anyway,
I took a word for it on that. Yeah.
Now to get off the Benihana topic, I will say that the other thing I never told you was right when you guys invited me, dude. I called so many people, and I was like, "Hey guys, just I'm going out with people that have been in Star Wars to dinner. Okay, bye." And it was don't tell my wife, the best moment of my life. So
that's sick.
it was fun. It was fun to meet friends and just get to know people. I love meeting people, but I'm always I'm an introvert, extrovert. Like I want to meet new people, but I'm terrified to get that first steps. Meeting you and you being so chill, so I thank you for that. Just being such a solid dude. I have like two more
it's all good,
questions.
man.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
It's all good. It's all good. I mean, I relate to that. I think I've got I used to have social anxiety quite a lot, but I had to like really put myself out there to have that kind of go down to a manageable threshold. But I love speaking to people. It's just getting over that initial hump, right?
Yeah, no, that's huge. So final question: have you ever got to? I know you've met Hayden at least once after the fact. Have you ever met anyone else, like any big names we would know through you being you and being in Star Wars? Have you had any interactions like that?
Yeah. So in the last convention, Rebel ScumCon, I met I think it's called Matthew Wood, the voice of General Grievous. He was
Yeah.
cool. I can't believe that he was initially in the sound team, right?
Yeah, yeah.
He was in the sound team, and he transferred from almost being, yeah, part of the crew to part of the cast. I thought that transition was excellent, right? And the fact that he did his own audio effects for the voice of General
Yeah,
Grievous.
it's sweet.
That blew my mind. He's a very talented individual.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So what are your kind of like a final-ish question, and we'll kind of split off this, but what are your plans for the future of your life? No, like, that's a pretty broad question, but like, is it just like try to get 3 conventions a year, just do your thing, or is there any like bigger overarching grand schemes that you're trying to work on, like your 10-year plan?
Yeah, so 3 conventions a year I think is a good threshold to balance with my 9 to 5 job. When it comes to my 9 to 5, I want to transition from just pure content creation into content strategy. With content strategy, you can give businesses a complete done for you plan of how they're going to run their video content, and then you can create it, and also you can provide more value and charge higher prices essentially, rather than just working with one-off projects. And you'll have a bit more. I think my experience as a content creator can then lead into that, right? So not only from a business perspective when it comes to gaining clients for this, I can also access higher paying roles in the field in regards to content strategy and content management. I believe when it comes to regular 9 to 5s, things available on LinkedIn and Indeed, those are the jobs in this field with the highest salary cap,
Nice,
right? So
nice.
money purposes, and also,
Yeah.
I want to keep on doing content for my own personal reasons. I
Yeah.
find it super fun, especially doing these lightsaber duels and everything. Promoting my charity fights in boxing and MMA. I want to keep doing that, so I'm planning to have a charity boxing match later this year or early next year. Try and break my previous record of I think maybe $3,000, raising that amount. I want to get to at least $5,000 this time, and yeah, mate, keep improving from there, right? So yeah, who knows? Maybe down the line I might get a small role in another movie.
You
Who
never
knows?
know.
Who knows? Maybe I could
Got,
be that bar owner in the
you
outer room.
you got to get that lucky. You got to get your mom. You got to talk to your mom again.
Yeah, try and dust off the old black book
Hey.
of contacts. Yeah.
It's so funny. I'll probably put this in earlier. I want to ask you, when did you see your image on Star Wars becoming a meme, and like how did you react to like, oh, people are like really posting my face a lot and like making these edits and stuff?
Around 2015 or 2016 is when the memes started to skyrocket, and I'd see my face. My friends would tag me on Facebook saying, "Oh, we've just seen you again," right? It exploded in around those years, right? It'll be on like the prequel memes page and Reddit and multiple other places. I just see my scene crop up again and again and again, which is great, right? Because it keeps my character relevant, and a lot of them they're pretty funny.
Yeah.
I saw
Yeah.
one recently where they've done a German version of my scene, and my character morphs into this like Terminator destroyer robot and just guns down Anakin. In like one of the beginning scenes of RoboCop when the robot goes into one of the higher officers and just guns that guy down.
Yeah.
It was like a play-by-play remake of that scene. I thought it's just funny. It's funny. There's the Robot Chicken episode which came out as well,
That's so
doing
much
a
fun.
remake of that scene. But no, before that, the prequels, critics weren't a huge fan of it, right? And online, the prequels were being lambasted quite a bit, fairly and unfairly, in my opinion. You know, there were a few corny scenes, but I think overall there were strong films, even including Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones and that. But no, the love started to show as soon as the memes became popular again, right?
Yeah.
So I think people thought back and thought, you know what, they weren't actually as bad as I thought.
And pretty much whenever the kids finally made it on the internet, right? Because like I was born in '95, so like prequels they're like my Star Wars, quote unquote, right? Like it's the ones that I never had a problem with. Obviously, I have a 7-foot tall Jar Jar Binks statue. I have to like episode 1.
Who could have guessed? Yeah.
I'm in the middle of moving, so I just like made a little corner that would look good before I moved my Jar Jar Binks. I'm moving tomorrow, actually, but
I mean, Jar Jar is making direct eye contact.
Isn't it terrifying? That's why I said
might as well. Yeah. It's kind of ominous. I can't lie. I can see where the Darth Jar Jar allegations came from.
Well, hey, it's Darth Jar Jar. He's in the new show, the new Lego show. So it's a thing. I have the minifigure, so it's legit.
Yeah.
But Ross, do you have anything else to tell the people of the world, all 5 of my listeners?
Yeah, sure. So I was going to elaborate on when it comes to like funny fan interactions.
Yes,
I remember it just came to my mind. I just remembered one. When I went to Mexico for JediCon, it would have been around a month ago.
Okay.
I made the rookie error of taking an Instagram story looking out of my hotel window, right? And the next day we were meant to be going to the event, so we called an Uber to pick us up. And while me and the other guests were waiting for an Uber, these guys, about 3 guys, were just waiting around the corners of the building. And one of the guys approached me and he goes, "Are you Russ?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Okay, is it okay if we get a photo with you?" I'm like, "Okay, sure." So I did the photo, and then I asked him, "How did you know where I was staying?" And he said, "Oh, we actually looked at your Instagram story. We've been following you for quite some time, and we found out due to the angle of the photo,
no way,
what building you were in." And I was thinking, this is crazy.
Oh no!
This is insane, but it's true. People are out there. People are like detectives, you know.
Yeah, and sometimes it's fine, and it's like no big deal. They just found you to get a picture, but like I guess
is fine. I mean, I got off pretty likely considering the other circumstances which could happen.
Right. They could have figured out your hotel room at that rate, but like because like I don't post, like I'm not huge in my follow. I don't have like people that are trying to like contact me all the time, but like I don't ever show the front of my house. I don't show my street. Just in case. Like I have kids, man. You know, like I don't need I'm not like just in case someday I do get big and I have this old post like, "Oh, that shows exactly where you live." Like I really want to be careful with that. Internet, terrifying place.
Yeah, no, I mean it's important to get these kind of operational procedures like ironed out, right?
Yep. Except for Instagram. Instagram just did a thing where you can now share your location with all your friends. So I warned a couple people that I was following, like, "Hey, just so you know, I do know where your house is now. Not in an ominous way. I didn't like look at it, but like maybe you should turn this off. I don't know if you know that." Because like it's like in messages you can just click it now and just be like show my location to everyone.
Oh, so it'd be quite easy to accidentally click.
I think you had to click it twice, but you know if people forget, I mean I haven't clicked it even once because I didn't want to even accidentally turn it on. So anyways, but stalkers.
Yeah, stalkers, they're insane, man. I mean that's why I don't use Snapchat among other things. Is like the whole maps feature is it's insane in my opinion.
It's fun when you're young and you just have your only friends, but like who knows who else is going to get this information? And like
exactly
as like a man, it's not as big of a deal, but like all these girls and stuff out there, like even like these small, like this is a side tangent. I was talking to some small Star Wars creators. She has like 1,000 followers and gets unsolicited photos a lot. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, that's crazy to me that this is just happening with just all women. This just happens. Like, what a
it's so common. I guess if you're a woman or even a man and you have
sometimes
some kind of following and a pulse, you will get thirsty messages, right?
Yeah,
it will happen. I mean, I've had people offer to like, "Oh, by the way, you're a cute guy. Can I buy your socks?"
Oh man, sell them.
Like, no. I mean, whatever. Yes, good money, a potential infinite money glitch, but at the same time, I wouldn't want to look into the mirror after that, being like, "I just sold my socks to some guy on the internet." I wouldn't be able to look at myself the same.
No, for sure.
maybe if if I'm really struggling, maybe
really
I'll follow that. It'd have to be bad though. I mean, it'd have to be bad. Yeah,
that's rough. That's so funny. All right, Ross, where can people find you on the internet? What's your handles?
Instagram, last name, first name,
Beadman
Ross. That's the handle. Yeah,
there it is.
Follow me there. Message me. Don't ask for socks.
Don't ask for socks, not yet.
You'll be good. You'll be good. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Ross. Thank you so much for joining us. We will talk to you later. Thank you for joining this episode. If you did enjoy, please consider giving us a rating on Spotify or Apple Music or wherever you might be listening to us. It helps more than you could ever know. Next episode, we're going to talk with Ethan all about Galaxy's Edge in Disney World and Disneyland. We're going to chat about their original plans, what they ended up making, and what they have planned for the future. So until next time, may the Force be with you.